Have you ever had that feeling, that strange sense that your body has suddenly decided to play by a completely different set of rules? It's a frustrating place to be. You're eating all the same things you used to. You might even be trying to exercise more than ever before, but when you step on that scale, it just doesn't seem to care. In fact, it might even be creeping up. If you're over 40 and you're nodding your head right now, feeling that frustration with managing your weight, you are in exactly the right place. We're about to take a good, long look at why everything feels so different, and more importantly, what you can actually do about it. It's not what you think. This really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's the one that keeps you up at night. That feeling that all your old tricks, cutting out carbs for a week, adding an extra 30-minute walk to your day, they just don't have the same punch they used to. The results are either painfully slow or they don't come at all. It can genuinely feel like you're fighting a losing battle against your own body, like you're doing everything right, but the rules of the game have been changed without anyone telling you. And honestly, that's not far from the truth. Now, this is probably the single most important thing I want you to hear today, so please let this sink in. Your struggle is not a reflection of your discipline. It is not about a lack of willpower. You are not failing. What you're experiencing is a completely normal, predictable, and scientifically understood series of biological shifts happening inside of you. So right now, let's just agree to take willpower completely off the table. Let's remove the guilt and the blame, and instead, let's get curious and talk about what's really, truly going on under the surface. Okay, so think of this like a puzzle, a complex, sometimes confusing puzzle. To solve it, you can't just stare at the whole picture and feel overwhelmed. You have to start by understanding each individual piece, how it's shaped, and how it fits with the others. So let's dive into this over 40 weight puzzle together. This is all about connecting the dots, connecting what you're feeling on the outside, that frustration, to the real changes that are happening on the inside. This scene probably feels incredibly familiar to you. Your favorite pair of jeans, they feel just a little bit tighter around the waist. You eat a meal, even a healthy one, and you feel more sluggish and tired afterward than you used to. And then there's that stubborn fat, especially right around your middle, that just refuses to budge no matter what you do. These aren't just in your head, and they are not just feelings. They are very real signals, messages from your body telling you loud and clear that it's time for a new strategy, a new approach. The old rulebook, well, it's officially out of date. So, what is actually driving these changes? What are the forces behind the scenes that are making everything feel so different? Well, science points to 4 major significant shifts that happen inside your body once you cross that 40-year mark. And here's the key. Understanding these 4 shifts is like finding the instruction manual to the puzzle. It unlocks everything. So let's break them down one by one in a way that makes sense. This is something most people never find out. They just keep trying the old ways and getting more frustrated. Okay, so let's start with a number, 3 to 5%. This number is a really big deal. Here's what it means. Research consistently shows that after the age of 30, the average adult loses about 3 to 5% of their muscle mass every single decade. And here's the kicker. That process of muscle loss, it tends to speed up after you hit 40. Now you might be thinking, okay, so I lose a little muscle, why does that matter so much for my weight? Well, it matters more than you can possibly imagine. Here is the crucial point to understand. Muscle is like the engine of your metabolism. It is your body's calorie-burning furnace. It's what we call metabolically active tissue, which is just a sciencey way of saying it burns energy, it burns calories, even when you're not doing anything, even when you are just sitting here watching this explainer. So as you naturally begin to lose that precious muscle mass, your engine, your metabolic furnace, it naturally starts to slow down. The same plate of food that your body handled just fine at age 32 can now easily lead to weight gain at age 42. Your furnace just isn't burning as hot as it used to. All right, next up on our list are the hormones. This is a huge piece of the puzzle. For women, as you approach and go through perimenopause and menopause, estrogen levels decline. This shift doesn't just affect your mood or your sleep, it fundamentally changes your body's fat storage strategy. It often redirects fat storage away from the hips and thighs and straight to the abdomen. And for men, it's a similar story with testosterone. As testosterone levels naturally fall with age, it can lead to less muscle mass and, you guessed it, more fat, also typically right around the belly. These hormonal shifts are incredibly powerful, and they completely rewrite the rules of where and how your body holds on to fat. The third big shift is all about a hormone called insulin. Think of insulin as a key. Its job is to unlock your body's cells to let sugar, or glucose, in for energy.
But as we get older, our cells can become a little bit, well, numb to insulin's signal. The lock gets rusty. This is called insulin resistance. When this happens, your body has to pump out more and more insulin to get the same job done. The problem is, high levels of insulin in your bloodstream act like a switch, a one-way switch that screams to your body, store fat, do not burn fat. It makes it really, really hard to tap into your stored body fat for energy.
And finally, we have to talk about cortisol. You've probably heard of it. It's the stress hormone. And let's be honest, life after 40 often comes with a whole new level of responsibility. More stress from work, from family, and often less sleep. This state of chronic, low-grade stress can keep your cortisol levels elevated. And the research here is crystal clear. Cortisol has a special talent, a particular preference for packing fat right into your midsection. It's a survival mechanism from ancient times that just doesn't serve us in the modern world. We have covered a lot of ground so far, but the most important part is coming right now. If you leave without hearing this, watching this video was not worth it. Stay with me. What comes next can completely change the way you think about your health. Okay, so that's the why. That's the science. Your body has changed. So now, let's pivot to the good part, the solution. We're shifting from understanding the problem to building the plan. And we're going to start with the single most powerful tool you have at your disposal every single day, the food you put on your plate. This simple sentence represents a massive, crucial paradigm shift. The old mindset, the one we all grew up with, was just about calories in, calories out. Just eat less. But that approach can seriously backfire after 40 for all the reasons we just talked about. The new approach, the smarter approach, is not about restriction or deprivation. It's about strategy. It's about giving your body the specific building blocks, the right nutrients it desperately needs to thrive with its new, unique biology. It's about working with your body, not against it. And this is what that shift looks like in practice, on your plate. It's a conscious decision to prioritize the foods that work for you and to reduce the foods that work against you. We're talking about making lean protein, fiber-rich vegetables, and healthy fats the stars of the show. These foods help manage insulin, support muscle, and keep you full. And at the same time, we're talking about reducing the things that can pour gasoline on the fire. Things like refined carbohydrates, excess sugar, and too much alcohol, all of which can spike your insulin and cortisol and make the problem worse. If there is one hero macronutrient in this entire story, it is absolutely protein. Think of protein as your number one ally, your best friend in this journey. Why? Well, first, it is your primary weapon against that age-related muscle loss we talked about, which helps keep your metabolism running strong. Second, it provides the building blocks for hormones, helping to support better balance. Third, it has a huge impact on satiety, that feeling of fullness and satisfaction after a meal, which helps control cravings. And finally, your body actually uses more energy, more calories, just to digest protein compared to fats or carbs. It's a true multitasker, and making it a priority is a non-negotiable. But as powerful as food is, it's still just one part of the equation. To get real, lasting, sustainable results, we need to pair that smart eating with even smarter lifestyle habits. And just as importantly, we need to bust some very common, very unhelpful myths that are still floating around out there. This is where most people get confused. They focus only on diet and forget these other crucial pieces. We've all heard this one 1,000 times, right? For decades, the message has been drilled into us. If you want to lose weight, just do more cardio. Go for a run, get on the elliptical, walk for an hour. And while cardio is absolutely fantastic for your heart health, and you should definitely do it, it is not the most effective strategy for fat loss after 40. It just isn't. Relying on it alone is like trying to fix a leaky pipe with a hammer. It's the wrong tool for the job. Here is the reality. The real game changer is strength training. Sometimes it's called resistance training, but it's the same thing. This is the only type of exercise that directly fights back against that age-related muscle loss. It tells your body, hey, we need this muscle, build more of it. By rebuilding that muscularly active tissue, you are literally turning up the thermostat on your body's calorie-burning engine, not just while you're exercising, but 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's the key that reignites your metabolism. And here's the second, incredibly dangerous myth. It's this idea that to see results, you have to go on a very low-calorie diet, a crash diet. You have to starve yourself. This approach might have given you some quick, temporary results in your 20s, but after 40, this is one of the worst things you can do. It's actively counterproductive, and it digs you into a deeper hole. Here's exactly why that is. When you dramatically slash your calories, your incredibly smart body doesn't know you're on a diet. It thinks there's a famine. It panics. And to conserve energy and survive, it does two things you don't want. It slows your metabolism way down, and it can start breaking down your precious muscle tissue for fuel. That's right. It sacrifices the very engine of your metabolism, making the problem worse in the long run and making it even harder to manage your weight.
Let's make this real. Let me tell you about Sarah. Her story is so relatable. At 43, she was doing what she thought was right. She walked on the treadmill every single day, she tried to eat healthy, but she was just getting more and more frustrated with the slow weight gain around her middle. Her turning point came when she stopped fighting her biology and started supporting it. She made two simple changes. She made it a rule to have a good source of protein at every single meal, and she started doing simple strength training with dumbbells at home just twice a week for 20 minutes. 4 months later, the results weren't just on the scale. Yes, she gradually returned to her previous weight, but more importantly, she told me her energy was through the roof. She was sleeping better than she had in years, and she just felt stronger. She got her life back, not by doing more, but by doing things differently.
So, we've looked at the science, we have busted the myths, we have seen a real-world example. Now, let's pull all of this wisdom together into a simple, clear, and memorable game plan that you can literally start using today. This isn't a 100-item checklist. This is your new, streamlined blueprint for success. Here it is, 4 simple but incredibly powerful steps. Number 1, eat protein first. At every meal, before you touch the carbs or anything else, eat your protein. This simple habit helps ensure you get enough and manages hunger. Number 2, add resistance. Just 2 to 3 times a week. It doesn't have to be a long gym session. It can be bodyweight exercises, resistance bands, or light weights at home. The key is to be consistent. Number 3, prioritize sleep. You have to start thinking of sleep as metabolic medicine, because that is exactly what it is. It helps regulate cortisol and insulin. It is not a luxury, it is essential. And number 4, manage evening eating. Try to keep your meals within a 10-12 hour window each day. This gives your digestive system a much-needed break overnight. This isn't a diet. It's your body's new and improved operating system. And that brings us to the final, most important question of all. This is not about overhauling your entire life by tomorrow morning. That's overwhelming and it doesn't work. It's about starting with just one thing. What is the one small change you can make today to start working with your body, not against it? Maybe it's just adding a couple of eggs to your breakfast, or maybe it's doing a 10-minute bodyweight workout before your shower. What is that one small step you can take today? Your health is not a destination you arrive at one day. It is a direction you choose every single day. Small awareness, small choices, small habits, they quietly add up to something much bigger than you realize right now. Before you go, if this gave you even one useful thought about your health, share it with one person who needs to hear this right now. That one share can bring this awareness to someone silently struggling, and it helps Wellness Geeks reach more people who truly need this. Think of Wellness Geeks as a knowledgeable friend. Like this video, subscribe to Wellness Geeks, and tell us in the comments what health topic you want next. If this video brought real value to your health journey, join the Wellness Support Circle using the Join button below. Your support gives Wellness Geeks the strength to keep creating content that truly matters. Thank you so much for watching and caring about your health.